consider yourself under my protection?
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Let's put a smile on that face.
I'm touching myself tonight.
How can a woman possibly fight this?
There are two things I want to do. I want an American cheeseburger.
What's up guys, Uz here, and this is a episode of Recommended Reading. This is basically where I take a DC or other comic book publisher graphic novels, and I'll kind of go through it there with you, say why I recommend it and stuff like that. I've seen loads of different things online where people are like, you know, collecting books and all this kind of stuff, but mainly it's kind of like they talk about why the book itself is so good and why it's a collector's item. And this is one of the things that I kind of find a problem in the comic book world. People don't really want to read the books. They're kind of more about, oh, this looks pretty on my shelf. And yeah, if you're kind of into the lore, then this is the kind of thing. So this is a fairly newish graphic novel compared to a lot of the stuff that I have. And this is The Batman Who Laughs by Scott Snyder, right? And this kind of collects all the volumes. I think it's 1 to 8. And basically, like, it tells you the kind of story of the Batman Who Laughs when he actually comes into the kind of prime universe. Right now, let's get a few things over with the quality first. The quality of the paper inside, it's kind of like really kind of recycled papery, which is not great. But you know, we're all about the story here more than anything else. So the actual art is pretty decent. It's not as good as some of the other art that I've seen there in different different kind of DC graphic novels, and you would have seen more on my channel kind of stuff like Deathstroke and things like that, where the art is, you know, super fantastic, right? In this, the art is decent and it's passable. There are certain things there that you know, are pretty easy to kind of read through, and certain things that are quite difficult. You can see here when the Batman Who Laughs is talking, it's kind of got this grey box with the white writing, which is quite, you know, quite straightforward. And this also as well, where it's kind of got the black box with the red writing, that's also fairly straightforward to do. But in certain parts there, basically in this story, we have the Batman Who Laughs. He basically comes through to this dimension, and he's trying to bring in Bruce Waynes from many different dimensions to come in and cause a kind of catastrophe to occur in Gotham City. And I won't go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it for you guys too much. But basically, we have Bruce Wayne, and he starts to turn into the Batman Who Laughs after the Joker so-called kind of sacrifices himself. Right now, the way that they do this, obviously because it's a comic book, you can't do it the same way that you would do in a film, is that they have, obviously when our Batman is talking to himself, he has a dark grey background with the white writing, but then it's to show him kind of slowly descending into this, getting affected by the Joker's toxin, right? What they do is they kind of change it around so that, you know, when he's fully into the mode of the Batman Who Laughs, then he's got this black kind of surrounding with the red part there in it. However, when he's kind of changing, they change it so the writing is red, and it turns from red to white while he's kind of, you know, saying stuff. And this sometimes is quite difficult to read. There are bits there where I really had to have a super bright light to actually have a look and be able to read this. Like when you've got this little red writing over this dark grey background, it's extremely difficult to read here, right? You can see it. And I understand the kind of choice behind it and the reason why they did it. But yeah, sometimes it's very, very difficult, this kind of stuff. But yeah, the art is generally consistent throughout the entire thing, which is great. I hate it when you buy those books and they're kind of like, part of the art is one way and then part of the art kind of changes halfway through, and it becomes like, you know, completely different. It pulls me straight out the story. The story here is great. See this stuff, really difficult to read, but as opposed to the red on black, right? The story is a really cool story. Some of the art there, the way they portray it is really cool. I like the way that they show the descent of Bruce Wayne, and I love the way that they show, you know, the Batman Who Laughs and stuff like that. Very much just the Batman story, no Justice League or anything involved. If you do want to see that, that is in the further Batman Who Laughs ones. And then in these graphic novels, one of the reasons why I like it so much is that they'll show you all the covers, right? So you've got, you know, the original Batman Who Laughs, then Batman Who Laughs 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6, and 7, and then finally 8, or Grim Knight 1, basically, right? That's a variant cover. So, and then there's these unused covers there as well. And if you want to see it continue, you can see it in Batman and Superman there later. So yeah, really nice graphic novel, fun to read, entertaining, recommended reading. Definitely get this, guys. It's about £10 on Amazon, which is like $12 at the moment. That is cheap as anything, man. Cheap as anything. This will keep you going for a few days and get you into reading stuff as opposed to watching things on TV all the time. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Batman Who Laughs, the graphic novel and stuff like that there. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys then next time.